Let me thank the German-Nigerian Chamber of Commerce for the invitation to come and address you for a few minutes. I bring you greetings from the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Mr. Udom Emmanuel. I think they try and project, or we can project the slides as I run through them. Can you project the slides if you haven't, please? Just a precursor, my name is Gabriel Ukpeh. I work for the Akwa Ibom State government. I've been there since 2015. Before then, I used to work with PricewaterhouseCoopers. I was a senior partner there for about 21 years before I moved in 2015 to Akwa Ibom State. What the governor did when he took over was, we're talking about ease of doing business, so to set up a committee on foreign direct investments. It's a one-stop shop committee dedicated to dealing with investors. So you come in to Akwa Ibom State as an investor, you don't need to go around everywhere and look for this ministry or that ministry. Just come to my office and we'll work with you from cradle to grave until you start your business, and that's what we do, and that eases the process itself of establishing a business in Akwa Ibom State. When he came on board, I think I just need to run as much as possible. I give them the slides. Please, if you can try and project it, it will help. Okay, so he started with an 8-point agenda, and that's on the board. I think these slides will be available if you need them after this. The difference between maybe Akwa Ibom and other states is that the governor came from the private sector. So he brought a private sector perspective to bear on governance in the state, effectively restructuring the way business is done in government in Nigeria. Then we'll see a few results in a few minutes I have of the outcome of that. And you can also hear a few things that he has done in that regard. I'll just a brief view of some aspects. What I'm going to do basically is tell you why you should probably invest in Akwa Ibom State. I'm going to do that in the next few minutes. For one, it's one of the most peaceful states in Nigeria, and that's been affirmed by practically everybody, including the Nigerian police force. The governor has invested a lot in security in Akwa Ibom State. As we speak, they're building a safe city, which should be opened by the end of this year. In Uyo Capital Territory is being built by an Israeli company. A safe city where there's CCTV everywhere, 24/7, and monitoring everything that everybody is doing. Once that starts working, we'll extend it to the rest of the state itself. We all know that Akwa Ibom itself has the largest reserves of oil and gas in the country. We've hosted ExxonMobil right from inception. They work out of Akwa Ibom 100%. And there's a lot of gas for whatever anybody wants to do, either in terms of oil, refineries, petrochemical plants, whatever you want to do, or gas processing, thermal plants and all that, that are possibilities in Akwa Ibom. We also have the longest shoreline in the country, 129 kilometers facing the ocean. So anything to do with maritime, anything to do with aquaculture, shipbuilding, jetties, whatever you name it, we are in for business in that area. You can see the other aspects of key attributes, unique competitive advantages of Akwa Ibom State itself. I'll just run through a few of them. One of them is the Ibom Deep Sea Port that the government has gotten the final approval from the federal government. They're currently doing the financial close, so hopefully by the first quarter of next year, construction of the Ibom Deep Sea Port should start. That's the natural deep sea port with 17 meters depth, without dredging, without doing anything at all. So it's going to be the best in the country for transshipment, for whatever you want to do to other African countries and all that. Behind the Ibom Deep Sea Port is 14,000 hectares of free trade zone. We know the benefits of a free trade zone. You bring in your containers, you don't pay a dime as duties, And once you manufacture or you add value to the products you're bringing in, you can sell them in foreign currency to anybody and any country of your choice. So that free trade zone is available and open for investors. We're also developing a jetty in Ikodabasi to also address some other aspects of what we're doing in terms of our agenda. The very big one is the Liberty Free Trade Zone. That's about 50,000 hectares of land. It's the largest free trade zone in the country. We have that in Akwa Ibom, very ready for investors as we speak. You can see the list of companies there that already are coming in. The largest of them is the ammonia plant that is being built. So the value is about $1.4 billion of the factory. And the other things, refinery, petrochemical plants, a lot of things are coming that way. The place is well laid out, the master plan is there, and we welcome investors to come and make use of that free trade zone. The next one I would like to bring to your attention would be the specialist hospital. It's called the Ibom Multi-Specialist Hospital, probably one of the best, certainly in West Africa. Some of the equipment it has there is second to none. If you take a CT scan there, it's about 640 slides. We don't have any of that in Nigeria. Probably the only place we have maybe is South Africa or so. That place is about 70–75% completed. As a government, we don't want to complete it ourselves and run it. We'd rather have the private sector run it. So we're looking to partnering with investors who will come, complete the facility, and then arrange to manage it professionally, entirely professionally, without any input from the government itself. In order to ensure that we have enough office space, the government just built one of the smartest office buildings in the country. It's a 21-story building, not the type of the other 21-story building. This is built professionally. It was opened a few weeks ago by the Vice President. It's ready for business. I think we've sold about 30–40% of that building already. It's the tallest building in the whole of the southeast region of the country. We have the Ibom Dakada Luxury Estate for when you come to start business there. Again, it's going to be one of the smartest luxury estates you can find. You can see all the attributes there, about 171 hectares of land. The minimum size of land you can take is 1,600 square meters because it's built as a luxury estate to have all the facilities you need, electricity 24/7, CCTV, we have internet, facilities, everything to make life comfortable. In fact, the way the governor is planning it, there'll be streets dedicated to certain, fruits. So you have a street that says this is an orange street, and every kind of orange you can get in the world will be planted on that street. You go to another street, the mango street, every type of mango you can find in the world will be planted there, and it's going to be a very beautiful place. I think we've already sold about 30–40% of the land there, so you may want to key into that as fast as possible. The next one is Ibom Air, just to ease the way people come to the state, to make it a lot easier for people to come. I don't know how many of us have not flown on Ibom Air here, not flown. I suspect quite a number, well over 70% have flown on Ibom Air. It was declared the best airline in the country in 2020. Last week they just recorded their 1 millionth customer that they picked up, within the country. So this is less than 2 years. Akwa Ibom is the only state that has established an airline business in Nigeria successfully. In fact, established an airline business in Nigeria. We don't know of any other state that has done that. And that shows the fact that the governor, it came from the private sector and is bringing the private sector perspective to bear in business. It's owned 100% by the state government, but 100% professionally run as any other international airline. In the next few months, it will be going regional, to other West African countries, and then beyond that. Again, the government is willing to partner with prospective investors to ensure that it's sustained over time, and eventually it will be quoted on the stock exchange as well. Next one I would like to point out, an MRO, it's a maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility. There's none in the whole of West Africa. So all the airplanes, that need maintenance, they fly abroad. That facility is about 70–75% completed. The structure is up. It's the biggest, in West Africa. It can take 2 747 planes in at the same time. Again, we're looking to partner with the private sector, complete it, and then run it professionally. And it can be ring-fenced, made a free trade zone, and they can bill in dollars. Your spare parts come in tax-free as well. So that's a huge opportunity. The cargo terminal is another one that's available for people who are interested, in investing and also take advantage of the 50,000 hectares free trade zone. In total, the state has about almost 65,000 hectares of free trade zone scattered around the state itself, and ready for investors to come and take advantage of that. Briefly, I'll go to the network of roads. The state itself, strange enough, a German company built most of our infrastructure. The government lodged, they built it. Most of the road infrastructure, they built it. We have one of the best road infrastructures in the States. If you doubt, just jump on Ibom Air and come, and we'll host you and take you around the place. So in terms of infrastructure, road network, it's near perfect, near perfect. There's no issues there at all. You can get to any area of the state from Uyo within 45 to 50 minutes. So the road network is extremely good. Telecoms is also excellent. As a state, we're the first to invest in one of the telecoms companies. That's the foresight that our governors have, and that has borne well. So you have telecoms coverage around the state completely. So if you come there, you shouldn't have a problem at all. We're trying to build a science park, an e-library, and then there's another sea cable that's coming to land in Akwa Ibom in the next 6 months, and that would cut down on the price of internet and make it about 20 times faster than what we have now. That is coming to Akwa Ibom in the next few months. Just to touch a bit on, we've covered this, the Ikorobasi International Jetty Industrial City and the Ibom Deep Sea Ports. So I'll just move to the next one. Some of the things we are doing, we own our own power generating plant. It's called Ibom Power. Generates about, the installed capacity is 191 megawatts. Currently generating about 120 megawatts. And there's a plan by government to ensure that there's power for all by the end of this year. We are actively working to ensure that, with product distribution company, to ensure that there's power for all. Without power, industrialization can never really start. Okay, a few of the industries that have come on board since the governor came in. There's a flour mill, probably the best and the most modern flour mill in the country. It's up and running. There's a syringe manufacturing plant, again the largest syringe manufacturing plant in Nigeria is working. There's an electric metering company, the coconut refinery. There's none in the whole of West Africa. You check the price of coconut oil, it keeps rising, while the price of crude oil keeps going down. So the government is investing heavily in that, and then has coconut plantations scattered right around the state. Assembly plants for vehicles is coming, and a host of other things that are coming as well. There's a plastic industry, there's a plywood, a timber factory, paint factory, and then the small and medium scale enterprises sector. There's a mini industrial estate that has most of these incubator businesses that the state intends to privatize pretty soon. So more of them, palm kernel plants, starch manufacturing, all those are part of what the state is doing. In terms of agriculture, again, we're big on that. The northern part of the state itself is, for agriculture, the soil is excellent for anything from rice to cassava to whatever, palm oil, everything. Towards the southern part of the country itself, you have, of the state, you have the oil and gas belt itself. So it's comprehensive, it has everything you can probably think of. In terms of hospitality, there's a 5-star hotel that is excellent. There's also a Sheraton hotel that's very good, 4 points by Sheraton. So in terms of hosting conferences and all that, in fact, it's destination bound for conferences by most people. It has a Ibom Tropicana Center, one of the best malls you have. We have one of the best stadia in the country. This was actually built by a German company and currently still being maintained by German companies. That's probably the best stadia in the country itself. The state is also building an international worship center as well to complement that aspect of our lives. In terms of tourism as well, there's the Bridge of No Return where slaves used to be taken away. You can see the mystical Blue Sea and a few other places that will entertain you if you come to Akwa Ibom State. I think those are the few points I wanted to make about the state itself. I know the time is very short. I would welcome any questions that you have in a few minutes, and then I'll be out here to engage with anybody who's interested in investing in Akwa Ibom State. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. What an inspiring presentation, and very, very well delivered. I'm almost considering changing my state of origin based on what I've just seen.
We'll welcome you. we'll give you a state, we'll give you a local government, we'll give you a town, then we'll give you a name.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You get married from Akwa Ibom as well.
Well, I'm already married, unfortunately. My wife may not approve, but thank you very much. I appreciate the offer. Please, can we have a round of applause for that? I am going to ask for questions from the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick show of hands. How many people here have actually been on Ibom Air? Just a quick show of hands. Okay. How many think it was a great airline?
It's an excellent airline.
Yes, an excellent
always on
airline.
time,
Excellent.
every time.
That's great.
If you haven't used it, just buy a ticket and fly to anywhere. Just to experience it.
Yes. No, it's a great airline. I've been on it, so I'm voting for both. Been on and found it to be excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Please just stay there for a second. Are there any questions from the House? I think it's, okay, I see one hand up at the back, another hand here. If we can make them just short, succinct questions, and if you tell us who you are, so that we have some context around it.
Thank you, good morning. And
morning.
I'd like to congratulate you and the Governor and everybody involved in Akwa Ibom. I can confirm that I really do enjoy going to that state and staying in your lovely hotels. My questions are very short and to the point. Your presentations covered a lot of different areas, and I see a lovely multi-specialist hospital. I'd like to ask you, please, what is the government doing for primary healthcare centres? So the people that are going to be employed in all of these projects. So at the very base of the healthcare sector, what is the input from the government? I'm in healthcare, so it's of great interest to me.
Yep.
That's the first thing. And the other thing that wasn't mentioned was also education. I'd like to know if you have any special projects on those two particular areas. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Sorry, sir, just in the interest of time, I'm going to take another two questions, and then perhaps you can deal with all of them at the same time. Is that okay?
Yeah, I hope I remember them.
Oh,
I'm not jotting them
okay.
down.
Okay.
Let me just answer
Answer this one.
In terms of the health care, I didn't mention it here because there was no time, but what the governor has done is to build hospitals in the 10 federal constituencies. Modern day hospitals, equipment, over 60, 70 containers of equipment has been imported, and excellent, each and every one of them, to international standards. Modern equipment, electricity provided, because yes, the Ibom specialist it's high end. So you build the process from primary health care to secondary and all that, and the governor is doing that. And even the Akwa Ibom State University, they're building a teaching hospital as well. So those supporting bases are actually there. In terms of education, the same thing as well. In fact, there was an education summit last year where they revamped the whole of the curriculum of schools, and the subjects to be taught. I think we tend to go for the soft side subjects, rather than more technical, hands-on ones. So they're injecting things to that to make it more vibrant. The government is also building vocational centers, skills acquisition centers to school up our people, especially the graduates, so they can take up these jobs as investors come in. So there's quite a bit on that side, and I can talk to you by the side to give you some more information. Thank you.
My name is Dr. Alan Taylor. I was hosted by the GIZ in Akwa Ibom State, and I lecture at Akwa Ibom State University.
Okay.
I have been there, and trust me, Akwa Ibom is open up for business. I can see that's a wonderful presentation as well. All those I can see there in Akwa Ibom State. But my question, there's a lot of deforestation going on in that area. What are the government doing in that area of deforestation because of industrialization?
Well, if you did industrialization, there has to be a balance. The areas that the government has reserved and say, look, we won't touch these areas. There's vast areas of land that have never been touched. And that's where the government is focusing on. If you take the master plan for the 50,000 free trade zone land, the areas have been mapped out, these are forests, these are iconic forests, we shouldn't touch it. And the areas, designated for businesses, industrial centers, residential centers, recreational facilities, and things like that. So the government is taking care of that aspect as well. Thanks.